Swinging a high drive into center field. Hits at the wall. It is gone! Casas does it again. It's gone! It's into the bullpen! This game is tied!
He swings and rips one to center field. It's high, it's deep, it's back, it's gone! Sale winds, he fires. Swing and a miss, strike three, it's over! The Red Sox have won the World Championship!
Welcome back to Play Tessie. It is episode 68. If you're listening on drop day, it's April 29th. It's almost May. Like Drake May. Episode 68. Mauricio Llovera, the legend of Mauricio Llovera, lives on in Boston with 68 jerseys plastered all around Fenway Park. Also got a shout out, Zach Godley. This is the official podcast of following the Portland Sea Dogs from town to town, city to city, also known as the official Red Sox podcast of WEEI. Before we get going, talk about this Red Sox series with the Cubs, in which they took 2 out of 3 games from a very good team that is now 17-11, which means they were 16-9 going into this thing. But before you listen to that, before we get into this, just remember, hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Odyssey app, Apple, Spotify, hit that subscribe button. YouTube, subscribe to WEEI. We've got a playlist there. Hit us up there. Thumbs up on YouTube, 5 stars on the podcast platforms. Tell us what you're thinking about this Red Sox team right now in the comments. Here with Sammy and Pat. By the way, follow us on the socials at PlayTessie on Twitter and Instagram. We continue to have awesome content coming out from those social accounts every single day. I say the official podcast of following the Sea Dogs around from town to town, city to city, because that's pretty much what we've been doing for 2 weeks. Sammy and I go to Portland last weekend, which feels like a long time ago at this point. Pat was in Connecticut at, what's it called? Dunkin' Donuts Field?
Duncan Park, yeah.
Duncan Park with the Sea Dogs. Pat, before we get into this series, this is the first time. I mean, we've texted since then plenty, but we haven't spoken since you had this little adventure. I'm curious, man. How did it go?
Yeah, dude, it was weird. First time being credentialed. So get there, pick up my credential, go on the field, and as I'm like walking in, Kyle Teal is warming up right next to the dugout. He had a pitching machine set up about 25, 30 feet away, just firing in 95-mile-an-hour fastballs. It was ridiculous.
Were they to be caught or were they in the dirt?
To be caught. I think he was working on framing.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it's not weird.
The Riley, shout out Riley, Sea Dogs, PR, play-by-play. She's incredible. She was like, "Oh, we might want to step back." She's like, "He's about to warm up," and Kyle T like looks and turns back at us, and he goes, "I don't know, I kind of like catching in high stakes," and then just pulls the mask down and goes back in. But yeah, we got Marcelo, we got Roman, we got the friend of the program, CT, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it was the second or third inning, I raided the press box for food. They had like a dozen pizzas, wings.
Ooh.
So I like popped in. This is actually incredibly awkward.
Dude, you should see what Gordo and I do to the Fenway media room. We ransack the place.
Pat, you're gonna love the Fenway media. You're gonna love the. I cannot wait for you to get back and do this at Fenway and get to eat in that room. That's fun.
Gordo eats gummy bears. Walks around the ballpark with gummy bears like a child.
You really did.
When I got my credential, he was like, "Oh, like you have access to the field, the press box." And he's like telling me everything. And then he's like, "Oh, like we got food, blah blah blah." And like end of the conversation, we leave. And it's like the second inning, and I don't want to spend money on food. And there's like literally there's a soundproof room where they're doing the actual play-by-play. There's a visitors soundproof room. There's the 2 guys doing production and 1 beat writer. So there are 3 people in that room who can see me and my friend. We open the door in between innings. Every single person in there just goes, stares right at us, and I just awkwardly go. They all turn around.
It's an awkward wave. See, that's what, like at Fenway, there's so many people they don't even notice.
Dude, there was like
there was
3 people.
Around, you take everything and no one notices.
They look away, and I like nudge my buddy. I'm like, "We're going to get pizza." I have a plate of like 3 pieces of pizza, like 10 wings, and all you can see from our vantage point is the mound. And I am like nodding on, like I can see the whole game. I'm like, ooh, good. Yeah. As I'm just stuffing my face with pizza and wings. Then we throw the plates away. They look back at us, and I wave and go, we'll be back in a little bit. We did not go back in that room once. We just walked around the park. So, yeah, it was a great time. Guys were great.
That's the recommendation. Like, whenever Sammy and I have the credentials, we find a seat at the park. We don't watch the game. First of all, we don't have a seat in the press box. But, like, I don't know, something about watching a team you're rooting for. And I know this, like, the Sea Dogs are, like, not necessarily the Red Sox, but you do root for the guys on that team, and you root for the team. But something about having to watch the team you're rooting for but not say anything when good things happen.
Yeah.
Or bad things for that. Like, it feels wrong to me.
It's cool. The free food and everything's cool, and the vantage point is cool. But it's a way better experience just being out, like, walking around, for sure.
It's
like, baseball. I got to be able to take in a game and, like, react. You know?
But you had a good experience.
I had a great experience. And my Nuff Said is actually a funny story with
Okay, good. Save it for that.
Marcelo and CT. But, yeah.
Okay, good. I love it. Let's get into the games. We can start with the first game. I have a confession for the pregame of game 1. I did not know who Patrick Dempsey was until this weekend.
I'm not even a little bit surprised. I was actually thinking that when Bradfo was doing stuff with him, swear on my life, I was like, I wonder if Gordo knows who this is.
There's no way. Yeah.
I know you too well now.
Yeah, you do. And it's very on brand for me to not know who he is. And I asked, and I got the response, he's McDreamy. And I don't know what that means. I'm like, okay.
Grey's Anatomy.
The hot dude, man. Look at him. Handsome guy.
Marcelo. Grey's Anatomy. He is Dr. McDreamy. I don't know why I just said Marcelo. I just had like an ultimate brain fart.
Pat had such a good time with the Sea Dogs. He's just like, Marcelo, Roman Anthony.
No. On Grey's Anatomy, he's a doctor. I actually don't know his name in the show, but that's where like Dr. McDreamy or whatever the fuck. Wherever. Good. Okay. Yeah. That's where that comes from.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, I didn't know who that was, but I looked him up on Instagram and he has so many followers. I was like, yeah, this is definitely just another classic me. And it was funny that Noah Khan came out before game 3 to do that. And it was like Noah Khan was like the classic guy that I didn't know on this podcast and got roasted for.
Can you believe that Bradfo in back-to-back days, in the same series, 3-day span, he got Patrick Dempsey and Noah Khan. Like that's
why he's a legend.
A-listers. Those are A-list stars. Nuts. Good for him.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less for Bradfo because he is the tip of the top. Like I wouldn't expect those guys to be there, and for Rob to not have gotten something for baseball isn't boring from them. But
unbelievable.
It doesn't make it any less unbelievable that he's able to do it.
Content machine.
He is a content machine. But in this game, kind of the main thing with the game was Cutter Crawford. Oh yeah, Patrick Dempsey, sexiest man alive that Gordo doesn't know, but now he does. Patrick Dempsey, I'm your biggest fan, man. I hope you're listening. I know you're a huge Red Sox fan now. They said you're a New Englander on the telecast, so I know you listen to every Play Tessie episode. So you're gonna have to hear us talk about Cutter Crawford, and that even though it was like definitely his worst outing of the year, it might have been the outing in which I was the most impressed, if that makes sense. The Sox did not win this game. Cutter Crawford allowed 10 hits in 6 innings, but he clearly didn't have his stuff. He gutted it out. Like, this is a classic example. Like, I just remember when, like, back in the day, man, like Josh Beckett, if he didn't have his stuff, like it didn't matter. He was going to get 6 innings. Cutter Crawford didn't have his best stuff. A lot of hits, a lot of traffic. But the fact of the matter is he limited it to 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. And he got them through 6 innings. He did not, like, we've seen so many times these guys get blasted in years past, and they would be out of the game in like the 4th inning, and now the bullpen has to eat it, and it's going to kill you for the rest of the series. But that didn't happen. And honestly, the Red Sox won the 2nd and 3rd game. You got to, I mean, maybe not for the 2nd one, but the 3rd one, the bullpen was fresh, and Obviously, Chris Martin wasn't at his best, but like you got to give the credit where it's due to Cutter for keeping them fresh, getting through 6 innings when he didn't have his best stuff.
Yeah, man, you kind of said it just now. It's the hallmark of a legitimately good major league pitcher. When you're off, you're still kind of on, if that makes sense. Like even when he's not at his best, he's still not an easy task for opposing lineup. So not much more you could say about that. Didn't get the win, but there was still some positive takeaways from that first game. Then, you move on to the second game. Kind of a throwaway for both teams. Red Sox just massacred those guys. It's not going to happen every night for either side. The Cubs are a good team. And then, third game. We'll go through all of them.
Yeah. Before we get to the second game, the one guy who did not have his best stuff, and he seemingly hasn't had his best stuff for the whole year, but he's our guy, is Joely Rodriguez. It was a tough outing for Joely, and it ended up being seemingly the final straw because we'll see. Today. Oh yeah. We'll see. You never know if they pass through waivers, but I'm treating it the DFA as if he's gone. He was going to opt for free agency before the season as opposed to going to the minor leagues. But Joely, he ended his ERA right now is a 6.55. I will always remember you, Joely.
Thank you, Joely, for all you've done for us.
You know that, but you didn't know Noah Khan. Anyway, Gordo and Pat, you'll be in this mix shortly. But this is the first time that we've kind of become friendly with a guy on the Red Sox, and it's gone south, and now he's DFA'd. It's a weird feeling. Like we've never really before this. We had pretty limited access, and now on the field all the time, and like we're interacting with the guys doing the content making and everything. It's not a good feeling when a guy who's been really nice to you gets DFA'd and everyone's like, yeah, get this guy out of here. He sucks. And we're like, he's a really nice guy. If you knew him, you would really like him. And it's a set of emotions I've never dealt with.
It was very different because we never met him in person, but he was nothing but nice to us over Zoom. But like when John Schreiber got traded, I was like, I kind of fucking know that guy. It's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out John Schreiber in his 0.69 ERA. He is absolutely balling for the Kansas City Royals right now, which is great.
Plant king.
Yeah. No kidding. Oh, I cannot wait. We have to make sure that we get on the field for one of those Royals games and say hi to Schreiber.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the Joely era, I mean, I guess it's not technically over because like he could pass through waivers and then get outrighted to the minors or something. But I think there's a reasonable chance here that Joely's Dunsky here. We will miss him, the king of content, the king of vibes, just not necessarily the king of pitching in the year 2024. But we love Joely.
What's that song that's like, it's not over?
That's by Daughtry.
It's Daughtry.
Yeah. I knew it was like Nickelback adjacent. That's
Daughtry.
It's not over.
Oh, Gordo.
Yeah.
That was good, man. You could be fourth place on American Idol, like Daughtry.
Oh,
he was fucking robbed, all right?
That was the most shocking moment in American Idol history. I remember watching it and literally just staring at the TV. His face, too. He was shocked. He was shocked because nobody thought he was going to come in fourth. He was like, okay, yeah, don't worry about Daughtry. He's obviously going to be in the final. Rob. I don't even remember who won that year. Anyway, now everyone knows I like American Idol.
Last thought for game one, besides Tyler O'Neill going deep yet again. Shota Imanaga. We talked about him a lot on this podcast in the offseason because there were a lot of rumors connecting him to the Red Sox, and everyone knew the Red Sox needed to add starting pitchers. There was some reports about the offer. I don't really give a shit about the offer at this point. Like it was like clear. It was clear it was a mix of the Red Sox were not extending for anybody, and this is a guy who wanted to be in Chicago. Like there was reports that he was living in Chicago in the offseason, just like secretly waiting until he was going to sign there. But do you guys have any sort of saltiness on the Imanaga thing? Because for me, like it's hard for me to have any sort of like to be butthurt about it when the pitching staff has been as good as it's been. Like they have far and away the best rotation ERA in baseball. So like who am I to complain about Imanaga? Like what would they have put Tanner Houck in the bullpen if they did that? Like
I mean, I think if anyone were to go to the bullpen, it would be Whitlock, just because, not that he can't handle it talent wise, but it's the third time he's gotten hurt as a starter. And, maybe
you didn't know. You wouldn't have known.
Yeah. Right. We wouldn't have known. It's hindsight's always 2020, but holy shit, was I wrong about that guy all off season long. I'm saying like, oh no, his fly ball rate, left-handed pitcher at Fenway who allows fly balls. No, I don't want him. God damn. Swing and a miss by me. That guy is nasty. Like
me too. Hand up.
His pitches ride so much. And if you're not familiar with what that means, like it looks like they're rising. It's physically impossible for a pitch to rise, but it looks like it's rising due to the spin and the extension. I don't know, but god damn, dude, that guy is nasty. Stuff plus, man. Stuff plus.
Yeah, and if you want to see a perfect example of what you were just talking about with that ride, go find that video. Like it went viral because for O'Neill's home run, it went viral because Imanaga's reaction was pretty funny. But his reaction was that because the pitch was really good and O'Neill still took it out. You see it riding exactly like you're talking about. It looks like it's just like going up. And then O'Neill just takes it deep over center field. Didn't end up meaning anything for the game, but the reaction was funny and you see the pitch. Game two, Sammy and I were there. We murdered Liam Fennessy before the game. We were on the, we did like, we had a cool, did some cool content with Zach Kelly. We'll be releasing that soon. If it's not already out by the time you're listening to this, we'll have that stuff coming. But yeah, we killed Liam Fennessy before the game. And so you can thank us for that 17-0 beatdown.
Thank you for your service.
Murdered him to death.
Like Sammy was just punching him to death and I was choking him at the same time. I mean, he had no chance.
Pat, did you see that picture? You see Gordo looking yoked in the picture?
Dude, Gordo?
Wow, bro. Dang.
Legitimately aggressive. Like he looked like he meant business.
I did.
I like how Liam is smiling while he's being murdered in that picture. And you know what? I thought that his last name was Hennessy and he made it Fennessy for Twitter, like Fenway. This is his real name. Wasn't lying. I thought it was a bit, but yeah, great guy.
Identification.
You what?
Did you ask him for identification? Prove it wasn't.
Yeah, I have his passport. I actually have his social security number and everything. He's super nice about it.
Oh yeah, no, the social security we had to make sure. But yeah, it was funny. I ate my gummy bears and then I helped murder Liam Fennessy. It was a hell of a day. But in terms of the game, I mean, Wink comes out there, throws 3 1/3 scoreless, like did his job. He was in and out of trouble. Like Sammy and I were watching the game from the third baseline, and I want to say the fourth inning because Bernie came in for the fourth and got into a little bit of trouble himself that he got out of. But it was like, I think 3 of the first 4 innings, the Cubs had multiple guys on base and didn't score a single run. And by that time, like Tyler O'Neill had hit another home run. The Red Sox got ahead, scoring a bunch of runs. And then the classic, the best part of the game, in my opinion, was seeing who came out in relief for the Cubs with, I believe it was the bases loaded at the time. And the game was in the midst of being broken open. But then a classic old friend came out to let it be broken even more open. Colton Brewer is a major league pitcher still.
What the hell, man? I had to like do a double take when I saw his name on the scoreboard. I thought he was out of the league. He was so bad for the Red Sox. And that's one of those guys where you see the quote unquote, the stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy could be good. He just has to put it together. Never put it together. And seemingly still has not put it together. But he's still floating around the majors. So, hey, good for him. Good for Colton Brewer.
Yeah, seeing Colton Brewer's name pop up was the worst kind of flashback you can have because I just immediately thought of 2020. And I was like, no. Seeing him warm up, I like the wind up, the 92 miles an hour, like eye high. And I'm like, I remember this vividly.
Pat, no 2020, no Marcelo Meyer flannel video for you. So
Oh my God. That's so
count your
true.
blessings.
Gotta think about it. Thank you, Colton Brewer.
Colton
Thank
Brewer,
you, Brew Crew. We are the Brew Crew.
Andrew Triggs, Zach Godley. 2 mentions in one podcast for Zach Godley. Who else was on that awesome?
Who was the other? There was another reliever who went to
Osich?
Chicago.
Osich.
Yes.
Josh.
Yeah.
That's tough to say.
Osich.
Josh
Yes.
Osich. Yeah.
The ostrich.
Yeah, you could keep going and going. There's a lot of studs on that team.
Colton Brewer. So he came. Okay. My first memory of Colton Brewer was 2019 because I remember like understanding that or at least thinking I understood at the time that the Red Sox didn't need to make any additions after 18. Like they were so good. It's like they re-signed Evaldi. They lost Kimbrel. I was like, oh, but they seem to really like this Colton Brewer guy. So maybe like losing Kimbrel won't be that big of a deal. He wasn't that bad in 19. He had a 4.12 ERA in 58 games. Like it's not good, but it's not the end of the world. 2020, it was way worse. He had a 5.61 in 11 games, 4 of which he started. He threw 25 innings in 11 games. No, we're not doing Jeffrey Springs. We don't need to talk about Jeffrey Springs.
No. Sorry. So Pat just put Jeffrey Springs in the chat. Like we don't want to rehash that. The guy leaves, becomes a stud, but
then go to Chris Mazza.
Okay, I actually have a Chris Mazza story. So my fiance at the time worked for the National MS Society. So she used to like reach out to like sports teams to like get memorabilia to auction off. And she reached out to like the Red Sox, like all these other, like I think I want to say the Pittsburgh Penguins coach is like from around here or something. Like he was sending like Sidney Crosby signed jerseys and shit. Like it was great. And then the Red Sox sent a Chris Mazza signed baseball.
Sorry, Gordo, you said my fiance at the time. You
okay, comma.
My fiance, comma, at the time.
All right. Just
no, I've not been engaged twice. I've not.
I just put in the chat asking Gordo if he's been engaged twice because of the way he phrased that sentence. Me and Sammy immediately just went,
dude, Gordo, you said my fiance at the time, but it's my fiance, comma. At the time, comma. You're bracketing.
Yes. Okay. At the time, she worked for the MS Society.
That was so good.
Still your fiance, the same person.
Yes.
There we go.
Clear.
Yeah. And the Red Sox sent her a Chris Mazza signed baseball. And I literally said to her, I think this baseball might have been worth more before he signed it.
Might as well just giving the middle finger to her. That's did he go on to do anything? Let's look up Chris Mazza.
He went to the Rays in that same Jeffrey Springs trade, and I don't think he did anything. I don't know if he's been anywhere since.
Hey, we have the same middle name. All right. Christopher.
No, he literally did not pitch after the Rays. He threw 2. Oh, yeah, he was not good. 4.61 in 14 games in 2021, and then he pitched 2 games in 2022, had an 11.81.
You think this is the year that he comes back?
It's always possible. The pitchers come out of nowhere, right? Sometimes they'll go to like Korea, Japan or something, learn a new pitch and come back and they're really good.
Give it 10 years. He'll be the Red Sox pitching coach.
Why am I blanking on the Diamondbacks guy? Not Zach Gallen, the other good. Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly did that, and he's really good. So maybe Chris Mazza is the next Merrill Kelly.
What do you call it? Threw like 8 1/3 shutout today.
Was it Eric Fetty?
Yeah, Eric Fetty. Same thing.
Did he really just throw? Did he throw?
Dude, he went like 8 1/3, like 2 earned, I think.
God damn. Go White Sox. White Sox swept the Rays.
They're hot. They're hot right now. White Sox swept the Rays. The Oakland A's beat Baltimore. Dude, the AL East is wide open, man. And the Sox are winning.
Sox are hot.
Boston Red Sox.
Yes. Red Sox.
Boston, yeah, that one.
Boston.
You want to touch on all these games and then
yeah, I mean we gotta hit up on some of these offensive performances that we saw in game 2.
Mm-hmm.
I know that like maybe one at bat each was inflated by Matt Mervis coming in to pitch, the position player who let in 6 runs, didn't even get through the inning. They had to bring in Patrick Wisdom, another position player, to get out of it for him. But Ceddanne Rafaela, career game. Yeah. 4 for 4, home run, 2 doubles, 7 RBIs, 3 runs scored. He stole a base. The nugget from Steve Peralt was amazing. Massive creds for this one. That Ronald Acuna, I don't know if he got an RBI today or anything, but on Saturday, Ronald Acuna had 6 RBIs on the season. Ceddanne Rafaela had 7 RBIs on the day. So yeah, he could turn into an absolute superstar. I don't know if he's ever going to have a game better than he had on Saturday.
I thought Steve was joking when he posted that. I giggled a little bit, like, that's funny. Maybe it's true. And I looked it up. It's true. It's nuts.
I will say, I love Ceddanne. I love him at short. I love him at center. I love his personality. I love him on the base paths. He went 4 for 4 yesterday and then also got a hit today, and he's still hitting under 200. But he has what is it, 17 RBIs this year, 16 RBIs this year?
Leads the team, right? That's the team leader.
Yeah.
But what's his WAR, dude? I'm such a big fan.
O'Neill is hitting 330 with 9 home runs, and Ceddanne Rafaela is hitting under 200 and has more RBI.
Wow. Yeah.
That's baseball for you, man. That's why RBIs, man.
Yeah. You know RBIs. What? Like Ceddanne is 23 years old. He's got plenty of time to become just average. All we need is average, if that, close to average hitter, and he'll be valuable. So I'm so far from pushing the panic button, and he saved the infield. So
no panic button being pushed. He's hit the ball well. He hit I want to say he had a nice double in the finale of the Guardians series too. So like he had a nice piece today in the finale here. So like props to Ceddanne. Like we know with rookies it can be a little bit of a process to get, like we saw Tristan Casas struggle last year, and like now, I mean, obviously he's hurt, but he's like the best or second best hitter on the team. Like I don't think anyone thinks Ceddanne Rafaela is going to get to that level. He doesn't need to, but I mean, all he has to do is get to the point where he's close to average, and he is really good.
Right. We forgot to talk about like what happened before game 2. We could get more into it later in the show.
Oh, the trade.
Yeah, they made a move, like an actual significant trade in April.
That's the thing.
Yeah, you don't see that very often in April. Like, what was it, April 26th? They made a trade. Yeah. I can't imagine how many trades happen on April 26th. We kind of all thought May 1st would be the upgrade time, but Red Sox add first baseman and left fielder Garrett Cooper, major leaguer.
Garrett Cooper, man. I mean, this is a guy that the Sox were obviously super interested in the offseason. There were some reports. I want to say Chris Cotillo had this report at some point over the winter that the Red Sox were nickel and diming not just like the big dudes, but even like the minor league free agent type guys. They were nickel and diming them too. I have a sneaking suspicion that was in reference to Garrett Cooper, because the Red Sox were in on him for the longest time. Never ended up happening. What goes to the Cubs, actually played pretty well. He's hitting 270 at the time of his DFA. Like, obviously, going from Casas to Dahlbeck in terms of offensive production is tough. And like, it's obviously Garrett Cooper is going to be nowhere near Tristan Casas, but you will have an at bat where it is not a guaranteed strikeout every single time. And like, that's not to be like mean to Bobby Dahlbeck, but that's pretty much what it's been, is like a guaranteed strikeout every time. And Garrett Cooper will get up there, hit from the right side of the plate, and maybe he'll get something. Maybe he'll run into a few homers.
Yeah, and he's like an okay defender too. Kind of up and down defender, but yeah, in first base, you just want your guy to be steady. So I'm happy about it. I really like, I said a lot of negative things about Dahlbeck, and I know he's a great guy. Towards the end, like the last few games, I really, really, really wanted to see him do something positive, just because like he has to be feeling it, and it's just not happening. I feel like that's a guy who maybe goes overseas, changes stuff, because Japan and Korea, both hardcore contact oriented leagues. Maybe that helps him. But yeah, I think this is the end of Bob. Probably Sunday night, I would guess, as we're recording. Probably the last game we see him in a Red Sox uniform. Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know, man. He plays quality defense. I know he's got options. Like, I don't know. We'll see.
Dude, so yeah, the defense has been better. It's like 70th percentile. I don't want to.
Dude, that's good. Better. 70th is good.
No, it's good, but 70th percentile first baseman, what does that do for you? Not very much.
Well,
and also compound.
Come on, dude. You've seen the other side of that.
Yeah, no, if you're a terrible first baseman, that's awful. But like,
Don't forget the Franchi era, man. That
no,
happened.
I know. I'm just not keeping a guy. I'm not keeping a guy around. Look, this guy's in the 70th percentile at first base, man. We got to keep him around.
No, I'm not saying I want to keep him around, but it's like, does he give you more than like, and I know he made a great play in the field today, but Emmanuel Valdez, who is also not hitting and is also not playing good defense.
Defense, baby.
He's playing okay defense. I shouldn't say that. He's playing okay.
Dude, that play he had a mistake early. Which game was that?
That was game 2. You're right.
Game 2. Game 3 tonight, which we'll get to. He made a nice play. That's Val defense, man.
Yeah, man. Make it a thing. Make it a thing. Val defense. Last thing on Bobby. I was literally thinking about this on the walk home. So much Patriots stuff going on in my head. It got me thinking, like, Bobby Dahlbeck and Mac Jones are kind of the same. Because, like, Mac Jones' rookie year was like a pseudo Pro Bowler, and like it looked like he was the future for the Pats. And then Bobby in 2021 is hitting crazy bombs, one of the best hitters in baseball for the second half of the season. And now it just like Mac Jones this year, it looked like he didn't know how to throw a football, didn't like have any confidence out there. Bobby, it looks like he doesn't know how to hit a baseball, swings and misses at pretty much everything he's thrown. I don't know. I feel like I see a lot of similarities in the two, and I feel bad for both because like both seem like great dudes, and it's just like something happened. I don't know what happened to Bob.
I don't really feel bad for Mac Jones, but yeah, I feel bad for Bob. Like we've talked about it before. We've never heard a bad thing about the guy as a person. By all accounts, great guy. It's just we got to move on. I'm so sickeningly sick of talking about Bobby Dahlbeck. For the sake of everybody, us, him, everyone else, please move on. Send him somewhere else.
Yeah. It just reached the point where it's like quite literally every single option has been exhausted. It's very clear it's not going to work out. It's going to work out for both parties. Go your separate ways. You get Garrett Cooper in here. Bobby is going to do whatever Bobby does. And there you go. It's an amicable ending. Just do it.
That's the right way to look at it, Pat. That's the right way to look at it because we've seen a lot, and like I know there's a fear from the executives that he might Ryan Brazier you and just go somewhere else, and then boom, snap your fingers, and he's hitting homers again. But I mean, it's clear it's not going to happen here. So why are you hurting your organization by keeping him here? Do what's right by the guy. Like the guy deserves a shot to be able to put it together, to learn something new somewhere else. Like, yeah, I agree. We've talked about Bobby a lot, and it's just it's time. The Garrett Cooper era is upon us. Last thing I've got on Garrett Cooper before we move on, his nickname, according to the Miami Marlins scoreboard a few years ago, Garrett Cooper's nickname is Koopaloop.
Koopaloop. And they're calling him Koopaloop, Gordo. It's a tremendous nickname. Really love Koopaloop. One of the best.
Yeah. We might need to next time we're on the field, we have to ask him if that's a real thing. Because we have it on good authority that the Marlins claimed that that's his nickname. We should
be hysterical if we went up to Garrett Cooper and asked if his name was Koopaloop and he had no fucking idea what we were talking about.
What if what if his response?
Oh no, it's his Twitter handle.
Oh, damn. It would have been great if we asked him that and he was like, "Shut the fuck up." And we're like, "Oh my god, okay, sorry."
Like, grabs Gordo by the throat. He's like, "Only my friends call me Koopaloop."
My friend, you're not. Garrett Cooper turns into a violent. How old is he? 33 and 125 days.
He's 33. Oh my god.
115 OPS plus, which is good because Yoshida had a 102 OPS plus while he was being benched, and he was the greatest hitter of all time according to the Red Sox fans. So 115 must be amazing. Look at this guy.
The Yankees, right?
Yeah, he was on the Yankees. He wore number 64. I have the most useless brain in the world.
Dude, that is wild that you had that in your head.
It's because it's stupid.
You're the numbers guy. That you are the jersey number guy. That is your That is your thing, Sammy.
Sometimes I swing and miss, but sometimes I pull a random one like that. I'm like, let me make sure I'm right. Hold on.
No, dude, because like even when you swing and miss, like there's always like some sort of like reason for it. You're never just like a full clean whiff. Your swing and misses are like foul balls.
64. Here's the real question. And let me just make sure, because he on the Cubs, Garrett Cooper wore number 41, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's a number 41 on the Red Sox. Let me check the coaches.
Sale's gone.
And Sale is gone. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Is he gonna be the first 41 since Chris Sale? Yeah, none of the coaches have it.
Damn, man.
By the way, I forget who I asked. Do you guys know what number Alex Cora is? He's got a
13.
good number. Nice, damn it. Someone I asked didn't know that.
Gordo, do you know what number he was when he played second base?
13.
No. Was he 23?
No, 13. He was
Are you
13. Do you know
sure?
what number he? You know?
Swear to God, he was 20. Maybe he wore 23 in 2018 then.
Nope.
Am I
20.
smoking crack?
20.
Michael Chavis is 23.
No, you're right. You're right.
I
He
know,
actually
yes.
he wore both. You're both right. He wore 13 and 23 on the Red Sox. You're
Go
both right.
Pat.
Look at that. Everyone wins.
I knew it.
We
Yeah.
all win. God,
It's
play Tessie.
2024. There
That's-
are no losers.
That's the slogan, man. It's play Tessie where everyone wins, especially the Red Sox, who won 17-0.
Unless
Hey,
you're Joe
I have it in my
Clear.
notes that even Bobby had 2 hits and 3 RBIs. So, round of applause for Bobby.
Yeah, he fucking wrote those hits too. Yeah, that was sick. Game 2.
Hold on, one more thing with game 2 though, Sammy, because
Okay.
this was the game that Masa Yoshida got back in the lineup in this game, and he was back with a vengeance. Goes 4 for 5 with 3 singles, a double, 3 runs scored, and an RBI. Been benched, I believe it was. He did not start 6 of the previous 8 games, and back in the lineup on Saturday, and by all accounts, didn't miss a beat. In fact, maybe even benefited from the time off because his timing looked better. He was hitting the ball. Yeah, just happy for Yoshida because I know it couldn't have been tough. That it couldn't have been easy sitting all of those games when like his entire life he's been one of the best players everywhere he's been, and he knows he's better than a lot of the guys in the lineup, but unfortunately just does not have the ability to play first base or second base or shortstop or third base.
Right.
So,
That was the
happy for
most annoying thing ever. I was saying, like, I don't mind sitting Yoshida. I think it makes sense considering the personnel and like the timing of everything. And people were like, buddy, you got Valdez and friggin' Hamilton and Dahlbeck in the lineup. I'm like, I know Yoshida can't play any of those positions that those guys play. It was fucking mind-numbing. Some of the Yoshida takes were insane. Like, put Devers on the IL out of respect for Yoshida. Have Yoshida play left field and move Ref Snyder to first and put so-and-so in center field. Just torture defense to get this slightly above average hitter into the lineup. Jesus Christ. I'm glad he's back in the lineup. He looked good. Credit to Alex Cora for giving him the exact amount of rest needed.
Exact.
Hey, he needs his days off. He can't play the field. He can't run. Make sure you're good to the guy. You need him. He's a stud.
Happy for Masa. I know he got hurt in game 3, and like I know there's a little bit of concern. So hopefully everything's okay. But
I like Masa. I don't want people to think I don't like Masa. I think he's
like
actually, jokes aside, he's a good bat. It's just the incredibly limited player.
Masa's a 30 grade outfielder. He is a 100 grade vibes guy. I love Masa.
the dance circle, man. I need him back in the middle of the dance circle.
Dances like a toddler. It's the best.
Papelbon has to help him. We
He
need
does that
Papelbon
stupid, like the hands up and down.
Yeah.
It's great. It's awesome. I love Masa.
I think it would be dope if Papelbon taught him the river dance.
Ooh, I don't know if Masa's moves are quick enough to pull that one off, but if Pap could teach him, if anyone could teach him, it's Pap.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see. I want to see Masa in the lineup. Who are they playing? San Francisco. Put him in the lineup Tuesday. Put him in.
Is Logan Webb a lefty or righty? Why do I not know that?
He's a righty.
Righty?
Oh,
no, never mind. I was thinking of
He seems like a lefty, but he's a righty.
Wood, Cobb.
I think Cobb and Wood are both lefties.
Yeah. Okay.
You got a Wooden Cobb.
We'll get to the Giants series preview soon, but last thing I got on the series or on this game 2. Just a quick question for you guys is, do you think that Kenley Jansen's job as closer of the Boston Red Sox is in jeopardy? We had a really, really brilliantly pitched 9th inning by Pablo Reyes on Saturday. So I don't know, man. Kenley doesn't have a 0.00 ERA.
Yeah, I mean, nothing you said is untrue. Pablo Reyes has the lowest ERA in Major League Baseball. That's a fact. Kenley does not have the lowest ERA in Major League Baseball. Every time Pablo Reyes has pitched the 9th inning this year, lights out. So he's my pick for closer. I think that Cora will make him the closer. We got Pablo. By the way, did you see the Red Sox Twitter? They leaned into a friend of the program, Joey Capone's. Actually, sorry, we don't know who's making those music videos, but hypothetically, if it were Joey Capone, they leaned into his joke that maybe he made. I can't believe some people haven't figured that out. He straight up sometimes tells people that he makes them, and sometimes he says, I don't know, we got to figure it out. But it's pretty funny that people can't figure out that it's him.
I think it's a lot like the Bruins riding Swayman. Swayman's the hot hand. You ride him. I think until Pablo blows a save, you have to ride him as your closer. It only makes sense. You always ride the hot hand.
I agree, Pat. And I was a little bit surprised that he didn't see the 9th inning in the tie game in game 3. But in my eyes, it had to be, you had 2 explanations for not getting Pablo Reyes in there. Either he was going to be the guy to go in extras, or they didn't want to throw him on back-to-back days just because, when you've got a pristine arm like that, like they don't throw Slayton on back-to-back days. Maybe they're just being careful with Pablo in that same way. So we'll see his usage in San Francisco for that series.
Yeah, you keep Pablo for a lead. You don't waste an arm like that trying to get to extras. You save an arm like that to pin it down. Right.
Hey, jokes aside, I can't recall any time when a team has been in the lead by so much and they turn to a position player. Normally, it's when a team is getting blown out on the wrong end of it. They go to a position player. That's like,
it's
in
rare.
a good way. Saying this, that's cocky as hell. I love it.
I know they're on a grave,
but like, it's fucking sick. Like, I'm not wasting an arm on you bums. Pablo, get out there.
What would the score have had to get to, do you think, for them to put in a real pitcher at that point? It's a 17-run lead. What does the lead have to be like, all right, like it's not like they let it to get to like 3. Like there would be a point.
I think if he gave up like 5 runs, they probably would have been like, all right, let's bring someone in. This is ridiculous. I don't think it had to get close. I think if he gave up a few, they would have brought him in. Is this Pablo's? Pablo has a pitching stats page.
Okay, so Pablo Reyes's career ERA is 2.25. He threw a game in 2022 with the Brewers, scoreless inning, no base runners. What, Pat? What do you see?
That motherfucker has a 2.44 ERA plus.
2.44. Yes. I mean, come on. This guy's a pitcher.
You know what? I just looked up Kenley Jansen's stats because I wanted to make a joke about Pablo having a lower career ERA than Kenley. Kenley's career ERA. Oh wait, no, that's this year. 2.08. His career is 2.52.
It's actually lower now, Sammy, because he dazzled in game. It's his season ERA is now below 2, if you could believe that.
Is it really? Oh, this isn't up. I hate how
Baseball Reference got to get updated.
It takes so long. Yeah, making me look like an idiot.
Yeah, dude. Well, you are an idiot.
Let's go Sox, dude. Honestly.
I'm gonna get you that Kenley ERA, man. It is 1.86 now.
It's a lot higher than Pablo's, to be honest.
Let's go to game 3. Question for you guys. Tanner Houck, 6 2/3, 1 run, 9 strikeouts, 4 hits. Like, amazing yet again. Just straight up, most innings did not even allow a base runner. Where are you at with him? Like, do you believe that this is just is this the guy that we're just going to see from now on?
Yeah, so I got to take about Tanner. And this is I'm admitting, very much recency bias, very much a wild exaggeration. But I truly do feel this way. His last 3 outings I'm being honest, have been like watching vintage Chris Sale, like 2018 Chris Sale. He has been that good as of late. The slider is insane. He is now painting the sinker. He's not walking guys. He's striking out 1,000. He's going deep. He is on a different planet right now, and he is an absolute joy to watch.
Right. Yeah. I wonder, and this is just a straight up guess, just a guess from watching Houck the last few years and watching him this year. I really wonder if Andrew Bailey kind of told him, dude, your stuff is nasty. Throw it in the zone. Get a lot of the zone if you have to. Just don't throw balls and trust your stuff, because he's pounding the strike zone. And he used to nibble a bit, try to get you guys to chase the slider. There's nothing wrong with that. It just was working for the first time around the lineup. Then it slowed down the second, and then we know what would happen the third. So whatever Andrew Bailey's doing, and I think it's the pound the strike zone thing, relentlessly, as Bailey says, it is working. Every pitch Tanner Houck throws, and bear with me here, it looks heavy. You know what I mean? Like the pitches, it looks like he's throwing bowling balls out there. And the guys, other than Mike Talkman, just pound the ball into the ground or completely miss it. And you're right, Pat. It's similar, very different pitchers, Sale and Houck, but it's similar dominance-wise. Like he gets on the mound and it's like must-watch TV. We haven't had that since 2017, I'd say. So
scale of 1 to 10, both of you guys, and I'll do it as well. How confident are you that this is the Tanner Houck that we're going to see for at least the rest of this season? Like, is this just an April thing, or is this just 1 to 10?
I think we get a version of it. I'm going to go like 7. I think he will consistently give you over 5 innings every game. The ERA obviously is not going to stay below 2, but the command, I think, is here to stay. The strikeout numbers are here to stay. He'll still give up a hard hit ball every now and then, but to some extent, I think this is legit. Like Sammy said, he's trusting his breaking stuff. He's attacking the zone. Like he knows his shit is good now, and he's challenging hitters. So yeah, I think to an extent, this is what we're going to see the rest of the way. He'll be right around a 3 at the end of the year.
I put it at like a 5 or 6, like pretty medium confidence. It's so early. This league, Major League Baseball, is relentless. So, guys will adjust. He's going to have bad starts. There's going to be a point in this season, probably in the middle of the summer, it's when everyone falters, where he's going to get absolutely fucked up by some team. And the next start is what's going to tell you a lot. After he gets beaten, whenever that happens, because it's inevitable, if he can bounce back, that's what's going to tell us this guy's for real. So I need to see more, but that does not mean I'm not incredibly encouraged by what I've seen. How could you not be? This guy's... Has he had one outing where it's been okay? I feel like every outing has been either very good or great. There haven't even been okay.
There was one. It was the Angels one. We were you were at it. You were there in person. He went 5 2/3, 12 hits. I want to say it was 4 earned runs, but I want to say 7 total.
Right.
But he went. But this is the thing
inning. Right. He remember the first inning of that game?
Yeah, they absolutely shot their pants on defense. But the thing is, Sammy, like that start was at his worst, and he still got you 5 2/3, and like definitely should have been able to get that last out and just couldn't get it. But like he was gonna get 6. I'm like at a solid 7. I'm curious to see how this Andrew Bailey program gets you through a full season. Like we see that it can have guys looking gross in April, but how do these guys' arms fare out in August, September, and God willing October? I'm curious to see it, but I have so much confidence watching Houck. Like he just gets up. It's like when you have like a fantasy baseball team and like you have 5 like studs in your rotation because there's only like 8, 10, 12 teams in your league. Like you've only got good pitchers, and you turn on one of their games and they just absolutely deal. And it's like, okay, like I have Jacob deGrom on my team and he's going to go 7 scoreless. I'm just going to like, that's what it's like watching Tanner Houck right now. And I have that same confidence watching Houck that I do watching those pitchers. So yeah, get this guy on the all-star team. Get this guy the recognition he deserves. I'm glad that he had that outing on primetime Sunday Night Baseball because, like, this guy right now is one of the best in the league. Hopefully it can continue.
Question for you guys. I know it's April. It's very early in the season. That feel like a big game to you as far as April baseball goes?
Yes. You tweeted that. You tweeted that, and I agree with you wholeheartedly.
It felt like a lot was on the line because, of course, the series. You want to win the series. Off day on Monday. You got all these Bruins and Celtics, the vibes in Boston. If you're here in Boston, Pat, probably throughout New England, actually, like you can feel it. It's one of those times of the year. So I don't know. It felt like if the game felt bigger than most April games feel. And then on Tuesday, you have likely Vaughn Grissom coming back, making his Red Sox debut, we hope. And then maybe Garrett Cooper as well. So you're getting
Koopaloop.
Koopaloop, sorry. You're getting a pretty significant boost there. So vibes are, we got good vibes.
Sammy, to kind of go off that, it did feel like a prove-it game. They hadn't won a series against a team over 500. They're playing a very good Cubs team, primetime television. Houck is riding a hot streak, trying to keep it up. That was like, there was the late inning, they tie it up. It's like, oh God, not again. But that was a big game. That was a very much a prove-it game. You have to go out there. You have to beat a good team in the Cubs. You take 2 out of 3, all this. And it was as big of a April game there can be. That was tonight. And it was awesome to see them actually not only play well through 6 and whatever it was, a third, lose the lead sucked, but then maintaining composure and then winning the game. Perfect baseball game. It was awesome.
I want to talk real quick about losing that lead because Chris Martin is someone that we have been able to rely on since he got here before 2023. At most points this year, he's looked good. Maybe not necessarily the Chris Martin of last year, but he's looked good. But he's had a few meltdowns, and today it was an inning and a third, 3 earned. It was that Tauchman 3-run homer that got him. It was kind of 2 bloop singles and then a 3-run blast, but his season ERA is now 5.56. Is there a level of concern with you guys for Chris Martin, or are you still as confident in him as you were in like August of last season?
Yeah. How could you be as confident? I'm pretty sure he's already, let's see, he's given up what? 6
He's a lot more.
6 in 2023. I think he's already at 7 in 2024. So he's already given up more runs. 38 years old. Let me double check that. He's older. Yeah, he's about to turn 38 in next month. So, yeah, you have to be concerned. Does that mean he's not a good relief pitcher? No. He's still going to be effective, but that 2023 season was just another level. That was a historically good season as well. We shouldn't put that lightly, how good he was in 2023. So to expect anything like that is a little bit unrealistic. That said, you can kind of see the control isn't the same. Not to say he's walking guys. He's not hitting his spots perfectly like he was last year. So yeah, a little bit concerned, but I'm not freaking out when he comes in or anything.
Yeah, I think, I mean, like Sammy said, you can't be as confident as you were last year because he was on a different planet last year. But I would imagine that as the year goes on, he's going to kind of lose that setup role. In my head, I would choose Slayton to take over that role. But if Chris Martin's coming in 6th, 7th inning, I'm never going to be like, oh my God, Chris Martin. Like that will never happen after what I saw last year. But I'm not giving up on Chris Martin. I just don't think he'll have as big of a role in the bullpen as he did last year. But that's just me.
Well, the thing is, he could still be a really good and really valuable reliever for you while not coming remotely close to what he did last year. Like if he has a 2.5 ERA this year, when it's all said and done, like that's a really good season, even though it was still a 1.5 higher than it was last year when he had a 1.05 ERA. Like he's not going to be that same guy. That's impossible to ask, as Sammy just said. But yeah, I'm not as concerned as you would think looking at his ERA right now, which 5.56, it's not good. Most of those runs are in 2 outings. So you had that blow up against Cleveland as well when the Red Sox blew a 5-0 lead. That was a tough game. But yeah, I'm confident in him. Pat, I agree. I'm more confident in Slayton right now. How can you not be? Shout out Justin Slayton through 2 scoreless in that middle game. His ERA for the year is now down to 0.55. Had that off the top of my head because it's that good. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how their roles evolve. I think until further notice, Chris Martin is still that dude you go to in the 8th when it's a 3-run or less game. I would be a little bit hesitant to bring him in early. I would try to keep his role as consistent as possible just to get him on track.
See, I'm not as worried about the role. I feel like he's such a veteran that he just needs a little bit of notice to know when he's going to pitch. You're not the only person who said that, I should say.
I don't think it's a thing, but I just to get him back on track, like just do everything you can to make him comfortable.
like you say, get him back on track. But what's wrong with him? Is it if it's a mental thing, then yeah, sure, get him back on track. But if it's a mechanics thing, a performance kind of thing, then I don't know. We're not a pitching
It could
coach.
be a little bit of both. Could be both.
Hey, but doesn't it feel good knowing you have a great pitching infrastructure and you feel good about them figuring out and you're not just blindly hoping?
Well, that's some of the stuff that Andrew Bailey said when he came in. He's like, guys are going to go through ruts, and the poor infrastructures, guys go into ruts, and it kills them for 2 months, 3 months. What we want to do is have a net below so that when you fall off, you're caught and can get right back up, because we're going to fix those ruts quickly. We're going to not have them be extended slumps. And to this point, we've seen guys have down starts, and like Tanner Houck bounced back from his worst start with a complete game shutout. So I'm not that worried. I could be a lot more worried about Chris Martin. I really do believe that. Sox walked this game off. Final inning, Jarren Duran walk, Devers single gets him to third. Tyler O'Neill hits a bloop single. Sox win the game. Vibes are high. Sox are 16-13. Way better than they look. Way better than you would think based off of looking at the lineups they put out there every day. But that's just the way it is right now. We are running a little bit. Do we have anything else before series preview with the Giants real quick? Anything?
No. Nope. Good to go.
All right, let's get into this. San Francisco Giants coming to Fenway Park for a series in Boston starting on Tuesday. Got Logan Webb versus Cooper Criswell. Logan Webb, one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's got a 2.33 ERA coming off 8 scoreless against the Mets, who have been playing good baseball. Cooper Criswell also has been good since his call-up. He's coming off 5 scoreless against the Cleveland Guardians. He has a 2.38 ERA for the year. Second game of the series, Giants don't have an announced starter. It's TBD. Cutter Crawford is the Red Sox starter. He's got a 1.35. He's coming off 6 innings of 4-run ball, 3 earned, 10 hits, 4 Ks. As we talked about, wasn't his best, but I was still very impressed that he was able to gut that one out. Series finale, Kyle Harrison, depending on who you ask, top pitching prospect in baseball. He's coming off 6 scoreless with 7 strikeouts against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's got a 4.09 ERA for the year, and he's going up against Josh Winkowski, who has a 3.5 ERA, coming off 3 1/3 innings of 1-run ball and 1 strikeout against the Cubs. He's now in the rotation, but not fully stretched. So I would expect something around those lines for Winkowski again, if his pitch count can stay in control. 3, maybe 4 innings if they build him up. Hitters to watch. I mean, the Giants had the offseason of all offseasons in baseball, kind of revamping their entire lineup with their checkbook. They signed Jung-Hoo Lee, Matt Chapman, and Jorge Soler, but those guys, none of them have really performed to this point. Jung-Hoo Lee's got a 689 OPS, Matt Chapman a 656 OPS, Jorge Soler a 716 OPS. The dude in that lineup this season so far has kind of been Patrick Bailey, who thrust himself into the catching position and got Joey Bart. I mean, Joey Bart didn't play well, but they DFA'd him in part because of the confidence they've got. And Patrick Bailey, who is now this team's catcher of the future after losing Buster Posey to an early retirement. Gentlemen, predict this series. What are we doing? Sox Giants at Fenway Park. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta update it because give you a score update. Shit,
I think some of us might have predicted every single game of that series perfectly, but you got to let us know.
Yeah, it was just one of us, and it was Sammy, who is really good at predicting series. He is a comfortable lead. 6 for Sammy, 3 for Pat, 1 for me. Pat and I both had 1 against the Cubs. Sammy had 2. So props to Sammy. Sammy, for that, you're going first. Giants, Sox, what do you got?
Yeah, these are some tough pitching matchups. Game 1, I think the Red Sox can hit Logan Webb, but you're going to have 2 guys in the lineup just getting back into Major League action from the right side in Grissom and Cooper. So it's ironic. I'm talking about how great of a boost they're going to be, but then I'm like, oof, good luck getting in a groove against friggin' Logan Webb. Yikes. So I think the Sox lose that one. You're facing a top 10 pitcher in the world in Webb, top 10, 15. He's nasty. Game 2, I like for the Red Sox. That's Cutter. You said Cutter game 2?
Yep.
Yeah, Cutter game 2. I'm very unmoved by this Giants lineup. They don't scare me very much at all.
No.
So I think Red Sox win game 2. Game 3 is the tough one. Harrison nasty, nasty pitching prospect. Maybe the best left-handed starting pitching prospect in the world, you could say. Possibly the best overall starting pitching prospect. I wouldn't go that far, but he's sick. He's hot right now, too. Red Sox have struggled against lefties, but they're going to get Cooper and Grissom back. I'm going to go Red Sox win 1 out of 3, unfortunately. I think they take the middle game. I hope I'm wrong, but loss, win, loss.
Pat, I'll get to you, but I'm just going to go second because I'm pretty much in the exact same boat with every single thing that Sammy said right there. Logan Webb is just a brutal matchup, and you got Criswell, who I don't know if he's going to get you innings. Like game 2, don't know who's going for the Giants. That's always a good thing. TBD is always a good thing when you're playing against it. But yeah, Kyle Harrison, I watched him even when he was not necessarily pitching well, and he can still shove it down your throat. Left-handed guy. I think that's going to be a pretty tough matchup for the Sox. And, it just sucks. You got Criswell and Winkowski, and obviously both those guys have good ERAs. They've both pitched well, but neither of those guys is going to get you deep in the game. So it could be a tough series in that regard. I'm going loss, win, loss, 1 out of 3. Pat, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm with both you guys in game 1. I think Webb is just simply too good to overcome, and especially with Criswell on the bump, you don't really know what you're going to get from him. But Webb is a legit superstar, so I have them losing that game as well. I like Cutter to bounce back. Not that he had a horrible start, but I like Cutter to bounce back in game 2. I think they take game 2. Kyle Harrison is good, but he's more of a command over velo guy. I think he averages 92 something on his fastball, but he doesn't walk anybody. I think they beat Kyle Harrison. I think they take 2 out of 3. I think they go loss, win, win.
All right. Pat takes 2. I feel I never predict them to win a series, but it's not because I'm down on them. I just let's look at the matchups. And every time I think they'll do well, they don't. Every time I've predicted 2 out of 3, they stink. So I should just keep predicting series losses. I just realized we forgot to do series MVP.
Tyler O'Neill.
I'm not going to go O'Neill.
I'm going to go Ceddanne.
Wow. I thought it was going to be obvious.
I'm going to go Houck because so much went right in game 2. Everyone contributed there. Who won them game 3? Tanner Houck. Braverman, can you get in here? Braverman might need to be the tiebreaker here.
That, man. That's actually you make a good point. I could jump on the Houck train for series MVP.
Braverman, what do you think here?
He didn't get the decision. That's the only thing. Is I feel like he should have gotten the win.
But do they win that game without him?
No.
I would say no. But they don't win without Tyler O'Neill.
Well, you don't know that. He got the walk-off, but if he doesn't get that hit, you got Wilyer Abreu on deck against a righty. All you need is a sac fly.
I'm going to go O'Neill, but if we universally decide on Houck, I won't be upset about it.
Braverman, are you going O'Neill? Who are you going with?
I'm same as Sammy. My first pick would be O'Neill.
All right, Tyler.
Gordo. Also, he was the only guy that contributed in the first game too. I know they lost, but he performed at least. Yeah.
But how much is it worth? He lost the game. He could have done
MVP, most valuable player. He's still adding value whether they run or whether they won or not. It's a tough one.
But guys, you're overlooking one thing. If Ceddanne doesn't play game 2, they only win 10-0.
But that's what I'm saying right there is all these guys do these good things in game 2, but it's he could have taken any of these
only
4 hit
10-0. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. See, Pablo doesn't take the bump. Pablo is not on the hill.
Oh my God, he's the MVP.
We got Pablo.
All right, guys, congratulations to Pablo Reyes for winning the series MVP.
Who's the MVP? Are we O'Neill?
It's Tyler O'Neill. Tyler O'Neill.
With a very, very close second, Tanner Houck. Honorable mention, Tanner Houck. It's just a pleasure to watch him. It's I don't know. It's so nice to have two dominant starters, him and Cutter. And just you wait until Nick Pivetta. By the way, really quick, Gordo and I were at Pivetta's simulated game. Holy shit. He was screaming on the mound. Let's go, Nick. God fucking damn it, Nick.
That was the best one, is when he like walked Pablo or something. He's like, God fucking damn it, Nick.
He screams at himself, God fucking damn it. And it was funny because there was a tour, like a Fenway tour going around, and they were like, whoa, dang. Like, it wasn't nothing secret about it. Like,
No.
God fucking damn it, Nick.
Yeah, it was great. That was fun.
He's Canadian.
He is. He texted you that, right?
Yeah, he texted it to me. Sure. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah. Tyler O'Neill's the first multi-time Play Tessie Series MVP. Casas and Duran each have one. O'Neill has two. So
the word would be multiple.
Multi-time.
Multi-time. It's late. It's late night. Multi-time.
Multi-time.
My fiance at the time.
Come on, man.
Shut up, Pat.
Tired.
Pat, what's it time for?
It is time for Crystal Bomb. Bomb it.
No.
What, do you have something
Gordo,
to say to
you
me?
son of a bitch.
Dude,
How many series have there even been this year?
I can't pick one of these to save my fucking life. I have a new strategy, though, so just wait.
All right. So the only one who got on the board once again was Nat Gordon. He took Tyler O'Neill. I was really testing the hot hand after I got Ref Snyder right. Reese McGuire did not hit a home run this series.
Did he play? Did he even play this series?
I don't think he had an at bat.
No. So, and then Sammy took Rafi, who should have been a pretty good pick, but he did not hit a home run somehow in a 17-0 game.
Wait.
So, Gordo, you got the updated scoreboard?
I do. You got it. Chat.
Oh, there we go. So, Gordo is at 6 on the year. I think they've only played like 7 series. 7 or 8
it's
series.
pretty crazy that I have 6 of these and Sammy has 6 of the series things. Like, that's insane.
I have 3. Sammy has 1. So
Pat, you're just painfully average at both of these things. Sammy is great at the series and dog shit at the home run. I'm painfully bad at the series and great at the home run.
Yeah, I can't win shit, man. All right, so we're going reverse order then. Sammy, lead us off, kid.
Okay, I cannot pick one of these to save my life. I'm going to start doing reverse psychology. I'm going to pick someone who I don't think is going to hit a home run for someone I do think is going to hit a home run. So I don't know who I'll take Yoshida.
Bob.
Give me Yoshida. Yoshida is going to surprise everybody, hit a home run over the monster. It's going to be like a 320-foot home run into the monster seats. It's going to flick it. And fuck, I don't know, man.
Sammy, he might
not play. Fails.
Are you sure you want to do that? Because he's hurt.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Jammed that hand.
He's hurt. All right. Someone else go. Let me ponder this for a moment.
I'll go. I'm not taking a super obvious one. I'm gonna go with Rob Refsnyder this time around because there's a lefty going in this series, and I was doing it because I think Massa may be down for at least a few days. So I think Refsnyder might see every game in this series. Let's get Rob Refsnyder hitting one over the monster in this series.
I'm going Tyler O'Neill. Obvious reasons. Haven't picked him, I think, since like the second series. Yeah, Tyler O'Neill. Sammy, back to you.
Fuck it. Vaughn Grissom. First series.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's such a good pick.
Bug meat, baby. He's going to hit a tank 498 feet. No, okay, not 498 feet, but he'll hit a home run. We're all going to flip out. Group chat's going to explode. I'm super confident in this, if you can't tell. So, yeah, Vaughn Grissom.
I was at that game where he made his debut at Fenway and hit that absolute moon bomb. That was fucking crazy. I picture him doing that in his Red Sox debut. I love that pick, Sammy. I wish I'd thought of that. That's a good one.
Would you say if in that moment someone came up to you and whispered, they're like, he's going to spend most of his career with the Red Sox?
They whisper, hey, man, they're going to trade Sale for that guy.
You're going to be like, don't trade Sale. We need him. We don't have any starting pitchers in Boston. And they'll be like,
don't worry, man. Tanner Houck's going to win the Cy Young Award. It's okay.
You have no idea how many starting pitchers you have in Boston. Wait until Big Bailey gets here.
All right, Sammy, what's the time for?
All right. No losers, just winners. It's time for guys being dudes.
Gotcha.
All right. So we're picking a player who has played for both the New York/San Francisco Giants and the Boston Red Stockings/Red Sox. Who would like to go first? Please don't.
I can go. I can go first because
Pat, hit it.
I'm pulling a Gordo, and I actually have not really a story, but just a little fun tidbit. I'm going with JT Snow.
I like that.
Okay, what's his number? If you get his Red Sox number, I'll give you $1 billion. You're not going to get it. Gordo, we weirdly talked about this yesterday.
We talked about JT Snow yesterday?
We talked about this number.
I believe it was 38.
Not even close.
36?
Let me
Is
make
it
sure I'm right.
86?
No, now you're getting close, if I remember correctly.
Well, that's funny because the story I have with it is that I had a JT Snow Red Sox jersey.
You don't remember the number?
Hold on.
No.
What? You had a what?
A jersey, like the T-shirt jersey.
Yeah.
I was like 8 years old.
How did you get that? How did that happen?
I don't because you know how like when you're a kid at Walmart, they have like just the shitty jerseys. For God knows what reason, there was a JT Snow one, and I remember getting one.
Well,
that's
it was number 84. Gordo and I were talking about the best number 83s in Boston sports history, and then we talked about how Deion Branch went from 83 to 84 with the Pats. JT Snow, number 84, Boston Red Sox. I don't remember what year that was, but I just remember 84.
I was going to say 5.
2006. I just remember thinking number 6 is such a cool number. It's a single-digit number, but he can't wear it in Boston. What's he going to wear? Probably something cool as well. Maybe 16. They gave him 84. Fucking revolting.
I like that pick, Pat.
Played 38 games. Oh, God. He did not do well. Hit 205, 44 OPS plus, no dingers. Just a lot of sad numbers. JT Snow in Boston. All right, Gordo, who you got?
I've got an interesting guy. I know Javier Lopez, the relief pitcher.
Dude, one of my favorite Red Sox players ever. I swear to God. I love that guy.
Yeah, man. This guy's addicted to winning championships. He won the 07 World Series with the Red Sox. He had a 3.1 ERA in 61 games that year. Wonky lefty, like a really valuable guy to have in your bullpen. So he wins that World Series with the Red Sox, goes to the Giants, wins all 3 of them there. Dude is just a title machine. He was one of those funny guys that it took like way too many years to come back to Boston, and they showed like a tribute video for him. It's like what they did with Kimbrel this year, where it's like, oh my God, it's been 6 years since he's played here, and now he's getting it. Basically, it was the same thing with Javier Lopez. He got that tribute video way too late. But yeah, Javier Lopez, 07 World Series champion, Red Sox, and 3-time World Series champion with the San Francisco Giants. How many players can say they won 4 World Series? He's the key.
Loogie, man. Left-handed, one-out guy. Loogie. Rest in peace to that role. All right. I got one. I'm going to see if you guys can guess it. I'm going to give you a fun fact about this player, and it's a bizarre one, but this is why I'm picking him. If you list every single Major League Baseball player of all time, every single one of them, by last name, in alphabetical order, this guy's last name comes up first.
I got it. Yes.
David Aardsma. Yeah. I love that fun fact. He was fine with the Red Sox in 2008. Oh God, no, he wasn't. Why did I think he was fine? He was not good. He had a 5.5 ERA. Jesus Christ.
Didn't he go on to close after that? That's
what I'm thinking.
Did he close for like the Mariners or something?
38 saves the next year for the Mariners, and then 31 the year after that. So that's definitely what I was thinking. The reason I remember him is because when I was pitching in like Little League or Babe Ruth or whatever at the time, whoever was teaching me to pitch used him as an example because he liked how David Aardsma would like show the ball to the second baseman like that. He would show the ball to the second baseman kind of before he threw, and then he would throw the ball. I don't know if that's good coaching or not,
But he was like, look how David Ardsma shows the ball to second baseman as he's throwing. That's how you get good extension. So anyway, a bunch of weird core, stupid brain memories about David Ardsma. Alphabet, show the ball. That's my guy. Play for Giants and Red Sox. Let's see.
This coach could have told you, like, hey, man, like, throw the ball like Josh Beckett. Hey, man, like, CC Sabathia, Cy Young, like, throw the ball like him. Nope.
Ardsma.
David Ardsma.
Ardsma. You know who I wanted to go with? I just want to do an honorable mention because this is one of my favorite Red Sox. Another favorite Red Sox pitcher of all time, Scott Atchison.
Oh, yeah.
Pumping like an 85.
It glitched out when you said the name. Who'd you say?
Who? What?
Who'd you say? I glitched out when you said the name.
Oh, Scott Atchison.
Oh, the Heartland. I love that guy.
The Heartland. What's that?
That was his walk-in song with the Red Sox.
Oh, that's
Sing
great.
a song about the Heartland. The only place I feel at home.
You got 2 Gordo songs this episode.
3. He sang In the Arms of an Angel, too.
What was the third?
Oh, no. It was...
No, 2.
You sang 3 times today.
Yeah. He's a great singer.
What was the third? Did I sing the song twice?
It was Sarah McLachlan, that one. Oh, and then Daughtry.
Oh, yeah, Daughtry.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
3 songs. Yeah, dude, you're on fire today.
Damn, you
All
guys
right,
should
so-
see me when the Sox are like a first-place team. I'll be
So-
belting.
Guys being dudes, we got Javier Lopez. Pat, who'd you pick?
JT Snow.
JT Snow, David Ardsma, and then an honorable mention to the flamethrower, Scott Heartland Atchison. What a beast.
All right, let's get on to some enough said. It is late. We will get out of here soon. I'll go first. Shout out to Nike, who has been them and Fanatics they've just been getting flamed basically since February for these god awful jerseys with the horrible lettering, players looking like they're sweating mountains, see-through pants, everything. Like they've just been getting blasted. And they have committed to fixing these jerseys. They're going to get it right. They innovated what didn't need to be innovated, and they're going to get it right by 2025. So we might still have to see some trash for the rest of the year, but you know what? I can live with that if it's going to be fixed by the end of the season.
It's kind of dope, though. We get to remember this one season as the season with the weird-ass uniforms and the tiny nameplates. Everyone's like half naked on the field. Good times, man.
Ugh. It's going to be crazy thinking about the Red Sox closing out the World Series and that being the last time we see them wearing those awful uniforms.
Well, it'll be at home. It's going to be at home.
No. It's going to be on the road just so you can have the nameplates. It's going to be on the road. Oh, yeah. Look at that sweaty Carlos Rodon.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I'll have a good enough said with Carlos Rodon when the Yankees come to town.
Say the Yankees removing the white trim from the New York on their jerseys. It does look good. I credit to them.
Change what doesn't need to be changed, man. It's been working for centuries.
You know who said that?
Everybody. We all said. I don't know.
It's a famous quote by Daughtry and David Ardsma.
Oh man, yeah, Daughtry did say that.
He said it to David Ardsma, and David Ardsma said it right back to him.
And that's what inspired David Ardsma to go from 5 ERA pitcher to lights out closer.
Yeah, is Daughtry.
Yes, that's well known.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Who wants next?
I'll go. I just want to point out a hilarious ESPN broadcast. I know they do their best. They had the ump mic'd up really close, really, really close, and really, really loud. And for the first inning or so, when he would call a strike, it was like your ears were bleeding. It was like directly.
Say that again. What was it like?
Strike.
Oh yeah.
No, it was like when Pat does that. Pat, go ahead, do it.
Chris Murphy.
Yeah, like the crackling audio, just way too close to the mic, way too loud. You got to think the guy in the truck, the ESPN audio, whatever his title is, was like, fuck, I got to change this. This sounds awful. You go on Twitter, everyone's like, this mic on the ump is brutal. It's so loud. And Gordo, I'm just sad you missed it. You were at the game experiencing in real life, but man, on TV.
One more time. I like that. That's good. You should be an ump.
Yeehaw. Thank you. Yeah.
You'd
Also,
be like Tornado Tom.
Eduardo Perez, Tornado Tom, love it. Eduardo Perez, I can't get over it. I've told you guys how I feel before. Every time I hear him talk, I think it sounds like he just took a big spoonful of peanut butter and he's like, "Oh, okay, we're ready to come back." And it's like all in his mouth. And anyway, I'm sure he's a great guy.
I met him at Winter Meetings. He's very nice.
Well, why don't you fucking marry him then, dude? Peanut butter mouth.
I'll tell him I'll tell him next time about the peanut butter thing. We'll see how we'll see what he says.
What if he's like wiping his face and there's peanut butter and you just freeze? You're like,
no, we'll be in the media room. He's over at the PB&J station, just like lopping the sandwich.
"Hey, Gordo, what did you want to ask me? What do you want to talk about?"
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah.
Like, either you guys Star Wars guys?
I'm not.
Nah, not really.
Okay. I was gonna make a reference that was gonna go over both your heads, so I'm glad I asked.
No.
No.
All right, Pat, you got enough said?
Yeah, I do. It's actually about my little trip to Duncan Park this week.
Oh, yes, that's right. You teased this in the beginning. What do you got?
Yeah. So we first talked to Roman. Chill ass dude. Roman's awesome. So he goes back in the clubhouse, a couple minutes goes by. Marcelo comes out, and I have my backpack between my legs. The camera's not rolling yet. And I go, "I got a present for you." I was like, "I don't want to spoil it, but I got a present." And he goes, "I think I know exactly what it is." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Is it a fucking flannel?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Dude, I knew it." So I give him the flannel. He's super cool about it. Like, he's like, "I used to wear flannels in middle school, like all the time." Blah, blah, blah. He's like, "After we finish this, I'll throw it down. We'll take a picture." So we take the picture of he's in the flannel. We take the picture and he takes it off and he's like looking at it. And he just goes, "Dude, I got to tell you," he's like, "there was nothing better than being in middle school." He's like, unbuttoned flannel, white t-shirt underneath. He goes, "That was butter, dude." He was, you looked so smooth with an unbuttoned flannel. So
Butter.
I'm laughing. He walks out. He's super like, he was like, "Oh, thank you. Like, appreciate it, whatever." So then Chris CT comes out. And I was like, "You see what Roman or see what Marcelo got?" He was like, "Dude, you got him a flannel?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "He came in the clubhouse geeking out." He was like so pumped about the flannel. And like all this, I was dying laughing. He's like, "Dude," he was like, he's in there geeking out. He's like, "That's so awesome." But it was Marcelo was so cool. I was losing my mind when he was like, "Dude, it was butter back in the day."
Butter.
We just gotta buy everybody on the Sea Dogs flannels. We're gonna be broke, but they're all gonna have flannels, so who cares?
Yeah.
Really, that's all that matters.
Pat, you're out there changing lives, man.
I'm just
getting guys
doing more
reminiscent
sport,
about
man.
their childhood.
Can you imagine how cold Christopher Troy and Marcelo Meyer would be right now if we didn't give them flannels? They'd be freezing.
California kids, man, they need it.
In New England, oh my god.
I kind of have a second. Enough said. So while we're waiting for everybody to come out for like the interviews, Riley was saying, she was like, "Oh yeah, like a lot of these guys come from like California and Florida. Like it takes them till like the summer to like not be cold." And we're walking out to do the interview, and Roman's like, "Does it ever get warm in New England?" And I was like, I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Give it to like June." Immediately after that, I get Marcelo, and Marcelo walks out. He goes, "Dude, what a beautiful day out!" Like the complete opposite weather-wise. Great. This is awesome.
Florida guy. Well, it gets cold, and like California can get cold-ish at times. Florida never gets cold. Roman's a Florida guy. I can't say that fucking word, by the way, and everyone gives me shit for how I pronounce that. I don't know if you noticed,
Florida, like a Jewish grandma.
I was literally about to say it's because my grandmother from friggin' Savin Hill. How are you, Sam? Good to see you. She's sweet, Grammy. What up? Big fan.
All right. Anything else from you guys before we wrap this thing up?
Nothing.
Just David Ardsma.
David Ardsma, Sox, winning games. It's fun. Before we sign off here, before you leave, before you turn on something else, Remember to hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Apple, Spotify, Odyssey app. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Subscribe to WEI. We've got our own playlist there. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. 5 stars on all of your podcast platforms. Give us a comment. Tell us your favorite David Aardsma memory. I know you've got so many of them, but make sure that you put it in the comment section because we want to see all of your favorite David Aardsma memories. We'll take JT's snow memories as well. I mean, all these guys, man. So many good Red Sox moments from these dudes. But yeah, before we sign off, just like follow the socials at PlayTessie, both Twitter and Instagram. As I said, we've got tons of good stuff coming out there. Pat was in Connecticut with those guys this weekend. Sammy and I were there last weekend. Sammy and I were also at Fenway Park over the weekend. So we've got good stuff coming. So make sure you're following on those platforms at PlayTessie on both Twitter and Instagram so you don't miss a thing from us. But until next time, episode 69 will be next. But until that, for Sammy and for Pat, it's been PlayTessie, episode 68. Toodaloo.